Mark said, you know, the registered, of course, working for them. Can you tell me if you really think is support working for everyone from the juvenile perspective, and where isn't it working, and what would you hope to see, or what would you hope to bring from a different role?
Well, I think that the court is making every effort to work with the community. We have an awful lot of dedicated personnel and judges who take a terrific amount of time and try to treat the public with respect and are ever mindful of the need to do things expeditiously, but also the need to have carefully considered trials and carefully considered hearings to take everybody's position into account. I think that one of our biggest challenges, aside from what Judge Collins had noted, the poverty issues, aside from the substance abuse issues, mental health issues, and just sheer lack of resource issues that people come before the court on. I think if I were to change anything, I would want to address the issue of unrepresented litigants in various different situations. It would be terrific if we could establish some sort of lawyer for the day program the way the probate court does. We do things very differently in juvenile court as compared to probate court. But I think any situation where we can have someone in between the unrepresented person and the court system and sort of to guide people through it, I think it's really important. I think it's great that that advocate is sort of open doors for things like that, make suggestions, and urge people towards those sort of services for the public.
Why do you think that hasn't happened, or it hasn't other courts?
I think it's always a matter of resources, and I also think it's a matter of somebody having the idea, we can do this here. We've done it piecemeal, I think, so far. We've worked with the Mediation Advocacy Project. Right now there's a proposal on the table to start something for our truant children in Springfield. We have very, very high population of truant children, and what some of our attorneys and guardian ad litem have discovered is that one of the problems with getting children into school is that there's been a disconnect. It's not even a special education issue. It's not really that the school's not there, but there's a child who's not attending school, and there's a disconnect between the child and the school community. So if we could form some sort of a bridge between the court system and the school department, which our new superintendent in Springfield is very open to, then maybe we could start battling some of the truancy issues, get more of the children back to school, less on the street. It's a huge, and so I think if we can work with that in mind and keep doors open between the different parts of the city.
And I know Judge Collins touched on that as well, and I think, though, while they can limit certain activities of judgment, I would think dialogue with the school department from the juvenile court makes complete common sense. I was talking to one of the justices in my area, in the juvenile court, and, admittedly, I love to get out there. I just, you get going day to day, it's 8 to 5, 9 to 5, and you're not thinking about that, but the issues are so grave, and with the schools, the detective said, families, and you see the end result of that. I know there's all these workshops and working with families, groups, and we have all these great studies and things, but sharing your insights with the schools, principals, and the junior highs, and the high schools, and the elementary schools, and maybe picking something to do, I think, would be valuable. And I bring this up a lot because this is where we have you. After that, you're on your own doing your thing. And I think people forget. They get the robe on, and you get to work, and you just forget the impact that you truly can have. Not only day to day, looking in the eyes of our families, distraught, and just horrible things, but I think bringing that knowledge and experience back to the kids and the educators. So I hope you would find some time to do that. Have you, do you feel, on a juvenile background that you have coming into today, in terms of all that you know and all that you've seen, where would you rate yourself 10 being out? No cheating.
I would say that. I don't want them to think I'm cheating. I have a lot of hubris, but I do think I'm a 10. I wouldn't be here if I were an 8.
You think you've seen it all pretty much, and there's nothing that's going to rattle you?
It's been almost 20 years now. I've seen an awful lot. I've helped shaken baby clients. I've been to mental hospitals, drug treatment facilities, foster homes. Had folks who were really at their wits' end appear before me and learned how to sort of let them know that they'll be seen and heard in the juvenile court. And I think I did that.
And I do too. And I think that the kind of person that you are here today is really the kind of person that I know myself and I come from Oregon. Like to see more people who have blue collar, and I don't know your background, I'm just saying, your background, the way you've worked, you've got the scholarships, you've gone out there and you've just been focused in this line of work and in this facet of the law. And you bring those personal experiences, professional experiences to bear, right into your district, right from where you now live or have lived for the last 20 years or so. So that's what I would say. And you obviously have the education that you got in with what I said. But, you've got that experience, you've got the education, you've got the intellect, you've obviously got the temperament to be there. And so I just hope you will be able to go that extra mile and relate back to the community and maybe making your little impact of the mechanism. With that, and I know it's not from everyone in class.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate that. And again, I apologize. I had to wait 20 minutes for a AAA, and I didn't know if I was there every time. First of all, we talked, and you have assured me you're not a tenant or any of the counselors, and you're not a lifelong tax resident.